Alright guys, this is a live reaction of like this guy's response about the the rapier shit. He's the one who started this shit. You can probably find his YouTube video just by searching his title. But yeah, here we go. Let's get started. Fuck it.
Alright, so I woke this morning to find a little rant about a rapier debate from a few months ago involving me and IDC. Well, oh boy, does
Oh
he just
my
ignore.
god, my ears. Holy shit. I'm gonna have to fix that in post to maybe help you guys not suffer like maybe ear cancer. Like Jesus Christ. I'm wearing a headset so you guys don't hear this through the microphone for like an echo. But like, oh my god.
My points again. So, in his video, he brings up points about how rapiers also have an edge, implying all rapiers have edges. He brings up the lances debate.
I never implied that they all have edges. Alright? I said that most commonly rapiers have edges. If you watched the video, I even said rapiers have edges. You're the one who denies that they don't have edges, right? I never said they don't come with no edges, right? Some do, some don't, right? And I'm saying most commonly rapiers would have an edge.
He brings how fencing is an art.
Fencing is an art. It's a sport. If you say a sport isn't an art, what is it then?
The game used as a proof is a point.
Okay.
How a blade always equals an edge, and how other swords can also thrust quickly, thus meaning that they also have points or are better than a rapier. And lots of issues with those debates and everything like that. So let's start off. We'll start off with rapiers also have an edge. Rapiers are not defined by their edge.
Okay. We never talk about how a rapier is defined, right? All we know its main source of, attack is thrusting, right? But it doesn't mean that it can't have an edge. We never said, oh, it's defined whether it has an edge or not, If you find a sword that doesn't have an edge, doesn't mean it's a rapier.
Rapier, as the very first sentence, is a loose term, very loose, but is a type of sword that is slender, sharply pointed. Sword. Seeing that, a rapier is defined by having a point. It can have many other things, but to be a rapier, it is a slender, sharply pointed sword. So it has to probably have a hilt, probably has to have a part that is a long metal sheet, which is referred to as a blade.
Wait. Don't skip, right? You're reading the half the sentence just to cut.
So it has.
You can read right here, but cutting or slashing attacks were also recorded, right? You can attack by slashing with a rapier, right? It's not defined that it has an edge, right? It's defined by having a point. I never said it doesn't have a fucking point. Jesus. Anyway.
It's probably have a hilt, probably has to have a part that is a long metal sheet, which is referred to as a blade, but does not imply an edge, and it has to have a sharp point. He brings up lances, and he says, "Oh, this is a fucking rape."
Hey, I never brought up lances. You brought up lances, alright? So don't turn this shit on me. I just said, oh, what? The sword's a cone? Right? And then you're like, no, that's a lance, as a fucking comeback.
This is a rapier, or anything like this is a rapier or whatnot. Which, I guess, if you're really thinking like a hot dog's a sandwich kind of thinking way, I guess you could be right. But mainly the difference is that the blade, or the main section of the weapon, does not come down and enlarge. It normally stays very slender. This gets very wide and open. Seeing as this, stays very slender every time.
All the ones you're showing right now have a fucking edge.
But each one normally has a point unless it's used for practice or whatnot. But to be defined, it's very long and slender. Doesn't necessarily have to have an edge, it's just, like this one has an edge. Great, cool. But you know what's at the end of that? A nice fine point.
I never said they don't have a point. Where have I ever said that rapiers don't have a point? What the fuck is wrong with you?
To push through any object. The reason they have to have this,
Yeah, namely the fucking chainmail you keep bringing up. Who gives a shit about chainmail?
he brings it up and just kind of ignores on why they need to have the point, is for armor. You see, armor, you can't slash through. It just doesn't really work. You can't really, like, hack through it. It's
Who said that your target had to be wearing armor? What the fuck? Right? If you fight an armored person, sure, you might be limited to thrusting, right? But if you're fighting maybe someone without armor, oh look, you can slash them and you can stab them. You have two choices of attacks. This is just retarded.
thick armor, that's the point. But what you can do is you can push through those grates, or you can push through the joints. Oh man, look at that. Push a sword right into that armpit area right there. That person doesn't have a immobilized leg. And then you can put the sword right into their eye socket and go bam. Dead. Great. Fantastic time. But no, he says that. One point I use a game to not prove a point, but to show common ground. He thinks I'm using the game, Fire Emblem and the Sacred Stones, as concrete evidence. I wasn't trying to imply that. I'm sorry if he thought that. I was trying to show it as a common ground to show, like, hey, have you seen it used here? Because we both play the Fire Emblem games. Fantastic.
There's also, you know, units who also use rapiers to slash, right? Let's say Elliewood's Lord upgrade, right? He can slash with a fucking rapier.
He then goes on to say that a blade equals an edge, because I show him this Wikipedia article, and I show him this text on how, you know, a sword can be a hybrid, how you can mix it together, how it's defined by a point, but it's not defined by an edge. But he goes, oh, look, it says long-bladed right there. Oh, bladed means edge. It doesn't. You go to the definition of blade, 1-2 definitions. Go to, like, the 80 different websites that have it. Some of these websites not as good, but some of these websites just as good. And go, oh, look, the sword, a rapier, or the like, is similar part of mechanism.
Alright, give me a second. There was a cut because there was shit happening. But while he was talking about this, let's pull up Google about what defines a blade. Let's go blade, alright. Let's go definition. And now there's 6 definitions for blade. Well, no, you got 5 definitions. You got, you know, the looks of a person, right? You got a blade of grass, you know, you got a shoulder joint, you know, shoulder blade, right? Those 3 definitions have nothing to do with rapiers. These 2 though will, right? You got one that either means it's a cutting edge, literally a sword, you know, rapier's a sword, right? And then you got the second definition, like, you know, ice skates. You see these ice skates? That's an edge. It's not a cutting edge, but it's an edge. Edge.
Bladed, right there. Oh, bladed means edge. It doesn't. You go to the definition of blade, 1-2 definitions. Go to, like, the 80 different websites that have it. Some of these websites not as good, but some of these websites just as good. And go, oh, look, the sword, a rapier, or the like, a similar part of mechanism. Oh, man, guess what you could do with a blade? It doesn't mean a sharp edge. Fans have blades. I bring it up. He brings it up in the video about how fans have blades.
I even said they don't have to be sharp. A fan blade has an edge, and it's not razor sharp. It has an edge.
I brought that up or whatever, and it just it baffles me on how I can bring this evidence up. He just looks at the one and goes, yeah, no, that's good, instead of looking at everything else in this article about it. Yes, a rapier can have an edge, but it is defined by the point. And he brings up later in the video, I think it's around this part or whatnot, on how you don't want to bring a weapon that can do one thing in battle. Well, guess what? The rapier is based around the spada delata right here. It depends on, it can refer to the spada delata. Spada delata? Well, it's a knightly sword. What's a knightly sword, you say? Oh, it's a side sword. Single-handed sword after ceasing to serve the main weapon. Oh, you know what that fucking means? Oh shit, when you have 2 weapons on you, one's a slashing, one's a pointed. Oh fuck, you can carry more than one sword in you. And he just doesn't think through any of this shit. Just thinks, oh, he's fucking retarded because a rapier don't have points. And it's just really irritating. He comes back after 3 months to say this shit. What else does he say? He says other swords to thrust quickly. I won't deny you there. I won't deny you.
I never ever said that. I have no idea what you're talking about, right? It doesn't matter if it was a side weapon or not. There's people who use this as their main weapon, right? Whether it's in games or whatever shit, you know. You got fucking movies like, oh, The Legend of Zorro. He uses a fucking rapier. It doesn't matter if it was a side weapon or not.
But the main point of a rapier, right here, while the rapier may be broad enough to cut to some degree, it's designed to perform quick and nimble thrusting attacks.
But it can cut, right? It can cut. It doesn't matter what it was designed for. You can still do shit with it. If it can cut, it has an edge.
When it's very thin, when it doesn't have an edge, it can swish through the air extremely quickly and push.
Do you know what can cut through the air more better? A razor edge, because it's a lot more thinner.
Through objects for quick thrusting attacks. It's not meant to overbear on your enemy. It's not meant to be a big giant broadsword to push them to the side. It's meant to immobilize and hit. Heck, you can, in the comments of the video, people bring up the immobilizing whatnot in it. I'm not sure which comment exactly. I have to find it, but it's there. About the different parts.
It's there. Yeah, it's there. You also have dozens of comments telling you that you're also wrong. Right? You might be mistaken for, you know, S-stock or something. We never talked about what it was fucking, you know, defined as. All we argued about if it had an edge or not. That's all we argued about. You can't just add more shit to the argument just to make yourself seem like you're more correct than you already were. Alright? That's just not fair. It's a topic. We picked the topic. We picked if a rapier had an edge or not. Right? Your argument was no. Mine was yes. It has an edge. Right? And then we swapped to the subject to saying which one was the most commonly made rapier. Right? Well, rapiers were most commonly made with edges. Well, rapiers most commonly made without edges. Right? That was the main argument. But now you're adding, oh, what is it defined by? Right? Oh, blade doesn't mean it has an edge. That's what you're saying now. You can't just add shit saying, oh, because it's a side weapon, you don't have to slash with it. That's not the reason why you don't have to slash with it. Right? If you can do it if you feel like it. It has an edge. But if you're limited and it doesn't have an edge, you don't slash with it. But all these definitions and examples saying you can cut with it. Right? You can cut with it.
Isn't sharp. This part is, this part's pointed. This part you hit somebody to immobilize them. You can stab them here, immobilize, do whatnot. It's multiple parts. Blade, going back to the blade part, doesn't mean sharp, because this isn't sharp, this is, and this is pointed. He also, just as a final note, brings up the pings. The main issue with those was the fact that on the Discord, right here, Discord, you can't post images in the general chat, so I had to post them somewhere else and ping him to show the evidence. Because, you know, he's a one-sided argument as the admin. Just putting my 2 cents into the object. I'm sorry if, you know, if you think rapiers for some reason don't have a point, as the very first sentence does.
There is something wrong with this guy, right? He hears something, it goes through his ear, right? We never argue about if rapiers had a point or not. That was the most retarded thing he could say, right? That was not the argument. The argument about the rapier was about its edge, not about its point. Alright, this is another shitty video, and there you go.